Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of Firestorm at Home. That's right, it's me, Coach FreeLove, and this is Artemis, one of our two lovely little kitty cats that will be joining us during our episode intermittently. Now, you're here for, that's right, Parkour number 9. It's going to be a great time. Before we get too involved, I just want to do a real quick shout out to the friends and family of those healthcare workers that are struggling and fighting right now. So, real serious love and appreciation to all of those wonderful, hardworking people. We're going to get our episode going. Now, you guys have joined us before. One of the first things that you need to do is make sure you have open living room space, clear space that you can do all of your cool, fun movements in, as long as you're not going to bump into anything expensive or anything important, right? That's not expensive, or your cat, your lovely little creatures. So that might be your siblings or your tiny little like 3-year-old nephew toddling around. Whatever the case may be, make sure that your space is open and available and ready for you. Also, you'll want a padded space underneath you today. Today we're going to do quite a few laying down drills. So what you want to do is get a blanket or a towel or a mat. If you have a yoga mat, I'm on a carpet floor, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my floor as it is for my workouts today. Without any further ado, we're going to get started. We are going to take a strong stance, fairly wide at the feet, squared in the hips, chest up, chin up, neutral in a forward position, shoulders are back, and we're going to, from this position, lean our head, and turn our head rather, lean it into our shoulder a little bit, and then lean it down to our chest, over to our opposite shoulder, and we're going to go back and forth following that movement. Big lean, big reach. All the way around in the movement. All right. Don't forget to keep breathing the whole time that we're doing this, the whole class, the whole time that we're doing any of our workouts or skills practice, or specifically our mobility and warm-up. In the nose and out the mouth, right? We're going to move to our shoulders. Big backward shoulder shrugs. Don't forget to breathe and reach those shoulders up, not just moving your shoulder in its socket, but moving the shoulder blade. That's that giant bone that's behind your shoulder and on your back. We're going to move that up, lift that up when we do that backwards shoulder circle. And let's stop there at our peak lift. Hold it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go forward shoulder shrugs from that peak lift, going and making sure that we hit that peak lift as well. And in the back, to exaggerate it, we pinch, very powerfully pinch those shoulder blades back and together, almost like you're squeezing your elbows back. Nice job. Finishing up those forward shoulder shrugs. Let's stop there. Ooh, lots of S. We are going to put our arms out like a T. We're going to lift our fingers up and above, our hands up and above our elbows. Keep your elbows at the height of your shoulders and your chest, right? We're going to do our lateral arm circle, taking our hands from the outside, over the top to our head, and then down and around. So we're going to go ahead and keep those elbows up. Make that big circle with your hand as best as possible. Nice. Thanks for joining us, guys. We really appreciate you guys jumping on the stream. Hopefully you have enough space to go ahead and follow along and do the mobility, and we're going to get into our class after our mobility and warm-ups. Stop there, hands in towards the chest. We were going down like we're taking our hat down. Let's go ahead and lift up and out just that way like that now. Keep those elbows at the height of your shoulders. Keep that circle going nice and strong. Nice. Be mindful of your cat. If you're sharing your apartment with creatures, be careful. Other creatures in your apartment may be, drop those arms, your family and friends, so make sure that you have enough space for them. So, we're going to, if we do have space, stagger. If I'm here and I have a sibling, we're not standing right side by side, we're going to stand slightly staggered, slightly apart from each other. boom, like that. It's gonna help you to create good space and tight space. Now, we're gonna move into another part of our body, moving down out of our arms into our torso. We're going to widen our stance just a little bit more than it was before. Twist our body all the way to its max. We're gonna twist as far as we can to my left side right now. Twisting as far as I can on hold it when you get to your max. And hold it for 3, 2, 1, and then untwist and come back from that. So we're gonna do that on our right side now, twisting all the way to your max, add your head to it, twist as far as possible, and hit it for 3, 2, 1, and untwist. We're gonna do that once more on either side. So big twist, big reach, go in, look back, and 3, 2, 1, and untwist. Go smoothly into the opposite side and hold it at your max for 3, 2, 1, and untwist, come back. Nice job. That was our slow, controlled muscular twist. We're gonna add some momentum by pulling through it with our arms now. Get in there, look back as you were before in the direction of your twist. Make sure you keep it moving smoothly back and forth, just like this. Going here and out and back. All right, nice. We're gonna go ahead and move down the spine just a little further into our hips. Isolate most of the spine and start to roll the hips out for our hip circles. We've done it in every episode before, almost every episode. So make sure that you guys keep following along with that pattern. Roll those hips out, big circles, as best as possible. Nice, and let's make sure to go the opposite direction as well. And I mentioned it before, but don't forget to keep breathing. Go ahead and just breathe in the nose and out the mouth, just like I mentioned at the start of class. Keep it going, and let's stop there. Nice. Bring your feet and your knees together. We're gonna go ahead and do just a few squat and extensions like we've done in previous classes. So squat and extend, then squat and extend, keeping your feet and your knees together. They're just like a few light squats, but as you guys can see, I'm not lifting my whole body up. I'm actually staying kind of low and really just emphasizing this pressure over the leg and the extension in the leg, getting ready for that as I'm doing a bunch of stationary movements today, or I'm here in this tight and condensed space. So just a few more of those, and then our knee circles. Right, one more, and squat and circle the knees out. Let the heels come up off the ground as you do the knee circle, letting the ankle move a little bit, drawing a little bit of weight into the ball of the toe, and specifically forcing that blood flow through the bottom of the foot. Right, mobilizing as much of the body effectively as possible. Let's stop there, opposite direction with our knee circles. I've said it in many of my previous classes, it's good to imagine it's like your knees are going around your toes, up obviously well and over the top, but as if they're making that circle around your toes. Nice. All right. Good, go ahead and stop there, stand up nice and tall, shake it out by pumping your heels up off the ground. I'm pointing my toe and pretty powerfully pointing my toe to where the feeling of a little stretch comes across the top of the foot where it meets the shin here in the ankle. So I'm pointing that toe and lifting my heel off the ground and then alternating. And I'm gonna go ahead and pump those heels just a few times. It's a great way to really use the foot and the calf to, again, warm up, mobilize that ankle. Let's stop there. We're gonna go into our lunge and put just a slight bit of weight on that front leg in your lunge. Lift your heel up off the ground. I'm gonna start with a counterclockwise circle for my left heel. And in just a few rotations, I'm going to go and I'm going to go clockwise, and then I'll switch to my right. Nice. Sometimes you'll get a few pops and clicks in there. That's okay. It's kind of natural. Stop there. Let's go clockwise now. So I was going counterclockwise. I'm switching in the opposite direction. All right. And remembering to breathe. All right, let's go ahead and stop there. Switching to our opposite lunge. Now I was on my left, I'm putting my right foot in front, lifting that heel off the ground, and I'll start clockwise this time. I was counterclockwise last time, but I'll start clockwise here. Always breathing, minding that I'm keeping that weight in over that leg just a little bit. Right? Not back here. Keeping that weight in. Let's stop there and go the opposite direction. And just keep it smooth and consistent. Keep it going as best as you can that whole time. All right, we're going to go on ahead and give it a break there. We're going to get our legs back together. Our body is mobilized, it's ready to move, and again, we have to make sure that we have plenty of space. Now, one of the things that we're going to be using for today's lesson is a broomstick. I already have mine ready because I planned the lesson. Ha! I knew what I would need. Ha! Forward thinking. Yes! My cat's gonna freak out. Or not. Perfect. Great. So, what you guys are going to need is a broomstick. So if you don't have one currently, take this chance to go get one. We're not going to be using it immediately, but we will be using it for today's class. If you guys have siblings, maybe you guys can sit side by side and share the broomstick when we get to the portion of class where we're going to be using it. But I would highly recommend that you have your own item. Now, coach, I don't have a broomstick, or I'm afraid to accidentally smack myself. That's okay. You can get a soft item like a pair of pants that you can pull out at length, and then you'll just have to hold them so that way they're not draping down. So that is one of the other options that you have. So either a broomstick or a pair of pants, and that's going to be what you need for today's episode. It's going to cover quite a few bar skills actually. And like I was saying, we don't really get the chance to do those bar skills, but we're going to do some workouts that replicate those. Now that we've talked about what you're going to need for class, we've had a chance to catch our breath for mobility, we're going to get into our warm-ups. We're going to start with a nice light jog. Don't squish your cat. Perfect. Nice. Keep your jog in place, and if you're on the second floor of an apartment complex, be considerate of the people below you. They'll be fine. It's not the like after a curfew or anything. We're good. Now, we're going to go from that jog into our jumping jacks like we've done before. So in, then up and out. And stop. We're going to drop down into a push-up position. So everyone go ahead and get low. We're going to start doing shoulder touches. That's one hand to opposite shoulder. So get low, get ready, and go. You can place your feet slightly wider, like so, to make this a little easier and more stable. However, keeping them together and keeping it stable is a great way to additionally warm up the torso. Good, go on ahead and come on up from there. We're going to stand up nice and tall. We're going to stand slightly wide.
we're going to point our feet out at about a 45-degree angle. We're going to squat down nice and low, and we're going to come back up. We're going to take our time doing our squats, nice and slow, in a 3 count. Going 3 to the bottom, then 3 to the top. So, 1, 2, 3, bottom, and 1, 2, 3, top. So, nice and slow, nice and smooth and continuous. Let's go for it together, guys. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Good. Just a few more. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Good. Keep good posture. Don't fall over. Keep yourself back. Down for 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 2, 3, and down. 2, 3, and up. 2, 3. Good. Going ahead and stop there. We're going to bring our feet together. We're going to do a few calf raises. So get those feet and knees tight together. Squeeze under you. Make sure that you're not accidentally stepping your left foot past your right foot on the floor under you. You want your toes in a nice solid alignment together. So get your alignment together and heels up. Hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Good. Come down. 15 lifts as fast as you can without falling over. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And out your mouth. One last time. In your nose. And out your mouth. Now that we've caught our breath, let's go get a quick drink of water. We're going to go on ahead and go now for that sip. I'm going to get mine. You guys can hang out with me if you want while I just go on ahead and drink my water. All right. Good stuff. Now, just finishing up our water, just go ahead and set that back wherever it was out of the way. And again, you should have a broomstick or like a pair of pants, something that's like a long, soft article of clothing if you are hesitant about using the broomstick. We're going to go on ahead get started with our first few workouts. Not actually using this item, just making sure that we have one of those for today's class. Our first workout is actually based around the TAC 180 precision. So if there was like a wall or some obstacle like this one that you may have that you could run up and take a step and tack on, like we talked about our TAC, some of our previous episodes. A TAC 180 precision would be the act of us going in, doing our tack, lifting our entire body up and off the ground, doing a turn, and coming into a precision landing just on the other side. So one of the best skills that we can actually practice here is our standing 180 precision. Fortunately, that doesn't take up much more room than the floor here. Now be careful, or be mindful rather, of space above you. I'm a pretty tall guy, or a fairly tall one, then I will smack easily my ceiling, or my ceiling fan, at the very least, if I accidentally jump up and swing up too high. So I'm going to be mindful of my jump, and really kind of control the power in there. Not just, again, because of my ceiling, but because I've got cats. I've got things around me. I have to be constraining of my power in my space, but I can practice my skills. So, without getting too much more sluggish with conversation, we're gonna start in our space. Currently, because I don't have a mat, this is gonna be helpful, I don't wanna accidentally trip or get caught on anything, because I'm gonna be a twisting and turning movement here. So I have to be very careful. I don't wanna accidentally do anything to damage that. We're gonna warm up with a normal precision jump, going straight and down and across our space. We're gonna have our arms up. I'm gonna swing backwards, squat low, swing my arms up and jump out. Sticking that landing, nice solid landing. Here I am, boom. I'm gonna go ahead and go for it again. Nice. So, my precision jump, right? Just a couple of them to warm that up. Let's go for it again. Now you guys can see me towards you. Nice tight arm swing, going down with my squat, not landing on my animals, and landing my precision jump, staying stuck in place, turning around, and going back. Nice. So, you guys, we're going to take that arm swing, we're going to apply that to our 180 precision. So some of you are like, how? Why? What? There's many people that often will do a backwards jump by underswinging to drive themselves backwards. Unfortunately, when we're turning, that's not going to help. This technique that we're working on now is going to do so. We're going to take a stance facing one side of our room here. We're going to put our arms out just in front of our thighs. I'm going to lift them up in front of me like a zombie. I'm going to lift them up to my head. I'm going to turn my torso as I get to here, and that I'm going to use that turning my torso to pivot my feet in place. So my heels are going to come up. I'm going to kind of swing and pivot on my toes. So starting here, swinging up. I'm reaching up into this, and then I'll be coming down on the opposite side, just like that. Let's start it again where we finished. So my hands are out in front of my thighs. I'm going to reach up over my head and pivot on my toes and come down on the opposite side. Boy, as two broken parts, that's a really awkward, hard thing to do. So let's do it with a little bit more fluidity this time. So hands are ready. We're gonna swing up, pivot, and drop. And try it again, swing up, pivot, and drop. Now, some of you that maybe have a background in gymnastics are familiar with a pivot turn. And that's kind of what this is based on. This is teaching us one of the most important things that we can learn, that we can carry our momentum like normal, in a normal arm swing up and over, but through a turn in the torso, we can redirect it over and across and out of different directions. So we're going to apply that pivot turn to our 180 precision, starting with my back to my landing space. I'm going to start over here. So I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to be mindful of my environment, not damage anything in my home or anyone in my home. Take a strong precision position, like I'm going to go out this way, but instead, when I arm swing up from my squat, I'm going to reach into my pivot turn and jump out the opposite direction. Careful not to smack our ceilings. Right. Not too bad, not too hard to do. And if you guys are sharing space with siblings, please honestly take turns, because now we are jumping and twisting. And almost no matter how much space you have, unless you have a big open space, like you can fit two people side by side, making room for mistakes that accidentally those mistakes may fall at each other. Otherwise, if you don't have that space, please take turns. Be considerate of each other. We're going to go ahead and continue to practice this technique, not just reaching and pivot turning to our left, turning our chest to our left, but we're also going to do so to our right. So one of the things that will help is to pick a wall to spot, and you're going to spot that wall each time. You're going to turn to that wall. You are the spotting target for me. So I'm going to assume my squat. I'll start over here. Ready? I'm going to go into my precision jump squat, right? And as I come up, I'm turning and spotting through you, then turning and spotting my landing over here. So, right, careful trying to mind the amount that we rotate. Then, repositioning myself. Ready? I'm going to turn and spot you again. This means now I'm turning and doing my opposite side, practicing my twist the opposite direction. Arms are here. I'm going to squat down, swing, and as I come up, turn, spot, and come the opposite direction. So, being mindful of the space that we have, if we're sharing it, now I feel significantly more comfortable working out doing these movements in my space. So, I've taken the moment. If you guys need to take a moment, do so. We're going to do just a few of these precision jumps together. I'm starting turning to my right. Nice. And we're going to reposition, and now I'm turning to my left. Nice. Repositioning again. Oh my goodness, puppies, go. Repositioning again, and nice. Again, now to my left. Good. Some of you may notice that it's mostly like I'm jumping when I'm backwards, turning when I'm in the air. That is super important. That's your goal. Some of you may be turning and then jumping. And we want to try and avoid that. Some of that turn that we should be doing really is generated in our chest. And if our feet come off the ground, we can still generate turn with our chest. So coming off backwards mostly, then driving a turn across our body using our upper body will help us to execute that turn. So if some of you are struggling doing the actual 180, that is something that you guys can really take into consideration. Just continue doing those 180s, keep them going. All right. Awesome. Let's go on ahead and give those a break. Now, one of the other things that we should address is how much core muscle it requires to get into and up off of a wall, tack and turn through the body. You may not feel it now while you're firmly planted on both feet doing the precision, but in attack, it can be a little bit more difficult, more challenging to accomplish. So we are going to actually practice some workouts for the core there, taking a seat now, making sure that our space is clear below us. Stay. Nice. Now, in this seated position, we are going to practice doing our Russian twist. You have to keep your feet up and in the air. That's how this workout was taught to me. We're going to keep our feet up and floating. We're going to keep our hands together. We're going to bring our elbows over and try and get our elbows to touch the ground on the opposite side of our body while not letting our feet drop. Then coming up and over and turning to the opposite side, getting that opposite elbow to the ground on the opposite side of the body. So, once you guys have got your space and it's clear, we're going to get started. Get ready in that floating crunch position. We're going to do 20 of these together. Elbow to the left, elbow to the right. That's one. So, boom, here and there is one. We're going to try and keep these going as smooth and as continuous as possible. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Rest. In the nose and out the mouth. Now, again, like I was saying, the active turning, twisting through the upper torso, we're going to use a lot of our obliques. That's our ab muscles, specifically the ones on the sides of our body. So doing your Russian twist, great workout. It is a really good way to get those muscles pumping so that when it does come time for you to start doing your tack 180 or even more cool stuff like your full twist or your corkscrew, you're going to need those muscles. So practice those workouts for those muscle groups. Nice. Guys, go on ahead and catch your breath for just a second. In the nose, out the mouth. Take a stance, up. We're going to practice one of the last workouts for our TAC 180 Precision. If you guys were with us for our TAC episode, then you may remember this workout. It's a good one. It is a cross body lunge with a big old knee drive. So I have plenty of open space here. I'm going to take a nice strong lunge stance, but my back leg will be crossed. So you guys can see my front leg is my right, my left is my back, up, up. I'm going to cross this left leg to my opposite side. So boom, now it's back behind me. I'm gonna drive it up and opposite where it's at, like that. Being mindful of the furniture in your home, right? So we're gonna go ahead and take that strong lunge, cross body stance, and drive that knee up and out. And then come right back right away to that cross body stance. Nice and across. My front leg is kind of turned outward. Should be a little bit of tension on the inside of the quad here. We're gonna go ahead and drive that knee up and out. We're gonna keep going with that workout and try and keep that up consistently. We're gonna do 10 or 15 of those. Let's do 15 together, like that. We're gonna do 15 on both sides. So I'm right leg planted, driving my left up and out, around my cat. Nice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, last one, 15. Good. Catch your breath for a moment. Get ready to switch to your opposite side. Make any adjustments to your furniture, to your household space as you need to, as you see fit, as are necessary while you catch your breath. Awesome. All right. I was right leg out in post. Now I'm going to go left leg and post my left leg out for my cross body lunge. Here we go. Straight lunge to here. Now it's cross body to here. Drive the knee out there. 1. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. High Artemis. 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Woo! All right. So those workouts are good ones for your tack 180 precision. We're going to stick with that walls workout and add to that bar workout in just a second. Go get a quick drink of water, everyone. I'm going to get some for myself. All right. So, coming on back from our water break, making sure that we are all the way entirely ready and set to continue with our lesson. We're going to continue, like I said, with those wall skills. We were just doing some workouts based on our tack 180 precision, included our 180 precision, as well as a cool bunch of ab workouts for that. And we're going to continue with those walls with our tic-tac. So, quick breakdown on terminology, the way that we use it here at Firestorm. Tack is one step on a wall. If there are two walls, tack to tack would be a one step here to one step there. And a tic-tac is any series of multiple steps.
Hello, friends.
So we had some technical difficulties, sorry guys.
Hello, friends.
So we had some technical difficulties, sorry guys. You guys, we were doing our tic-tac explanation. A tic-tac is again a sequence of steps on the same wall. So if I was to do 1, 2, 3, that's a tic-tac on the one wall. Then step over to 1 on this, that would be a tic-tac to tack on this wall. So our goal here in these few workouts is to really go ahead and strengthen those outer calf muscles. We're going to start with a nice wide stance, and we're going to, from this stance, bounce left foot to right foot. So we're going to bounce back and forth, just like that. Now please be mindful of each other. This is why earlier in our lesson I said offset if you have siblings, because we are going to be going side to side. And now if you offset each other, going side to side, you won't bump into each other. So get into those straddle bounces, and you want to kind of keep that pace up on those. And you're going to feel right away that there's a lot of tension that loads into the bottom of the foot, and that's good, that's okay. Make sure that you fully press out of that by popping off the ground entirely into the air in between each bounce. Keep breathing the whole time. In your nose and out your mouth. And stop there. Catch your breath for a second. Oh my goodness. Those can be pretty tough. Excuse me. So, what we are going to do to add onto that, to up that intensity just a little bit, is a slight butt kicker. So that means I'm going to be pulling my heel up to meet my butt cheek as close as I can get it while I'm doing this. So as I jump to my left foot, my right will come in, my heel will come to meet my butt. Then I will kick back out and continue. So I know that it may be a lot to take in at first, and if you need to pace yourself, catch your breath, do it slowly a few times, go ahead. Just like that, coming into a big tucked leg, then extending to straight. Taking it slow like that, then increasing your speed, then emphasizing your jump. Nice. Taking it piece by piece, adding speed to it. We are now doing tack. Essentially tack to tack to tack. Go ahead and stop. Nice. Really warming up the whole outside of the leg. Oh man, that can be a pretty intense workout. So we're going to add on even more by now bringing our knee into a big old knee drive, as if we're actually doing a tack When we do this, we're going to pump on this leg a single time. So once here, twice here, and then come back. So this means that when I land on my left, I'll be taking 2 bounces on my left leg. So 1, 2, out. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a lot of jumping. It's a lot of moving. It's a lot to memorize. Let's try it slow, just like that. We're gonna jump to the one leg in, pulling that heel up back behind us, then hop again from in, and then back out. When we hop over, come in at the same time, hop again. Oh my goodness, coach, I'm getting confused. It's so tough. I know, it's okay. Tack to tack and tic tacs are really challenging. So the workout, if you guys can't increase that difficulty by doing it like this, back and forth. Oh my God, I can't do it. I don't have dancer's legs. I can't increase my difficulty. I'm gonna stick to my normal workout here or working in here. One or the other. Go ahead and give it a rest. Woo! Catch your breath. Don't forget our broomstick is here for our workout today. Hello, Artemis. My little bother, back to bother some more. All right. We're gonna go on ahead, talk about real quick the 2 tutorials that you should watch, 53 and 55. 53 is for your 180 pre, and 55 is for your tic-tac. I can't do those effectively in my home. I can't advise you to clear out and use a wall. Don't do that. But instead, if you can, do these workouts that we discussed, right? And like I said before, don't push yourself to one that you can't do. If it's too intense for you, take it back a step. We usually start and tone ourselves up. And as I'm toning class up, if you can't tone up with class, that's okay. Then find your level and stay at your level. We're gonna go on ahead, get our broomstick, get started on our toe touch. So, I have my broomstick. If you guys didn't get it earlier, I gave you plenty of time to do it then. You procrastinated, here's your life lesson, don't do that. We're gonna go on ahead and get our bar. We're gonna practice what we would do on a bar here. Where on a bar hanging, doing a toe touch is an orange rank requirement for our gym. To rank up, that's one of the things that you need to have, is a hanging toe touch. Ugh. And now it's impossible really to make your toes touch the bar that way. Because your leg, no matter how hard you try, your normal physiology anyway, your leg is not longer than your torso plus your arms ahead of you, especially from way down there. Like it just, even if I could get my thigh to press flat against my body and reach my foot up, it wouldn't make it all the way up to my hand. So I probably still couldn't even do a toe touch then. So we're gonna talk about how you have to do a torso turn, lift your spine and your hips up to make that bodily adjustment. So making sure that your space is clear. Thank you. We're going to take a seat in an L-sit position, holding on to our broomstick. Now I have reason to believe this will be incredibly difficult for me because of my cat, but I think we'll be all right. Now, I'm going to hold this L position with my body and my legs out, and from here, I'm going to try and make my toes touch the bar with straight legs. So I'm going to lift them up, like I'm doing a pike up. I had a question in a previous stream, or at the end of a previous stream, where someone was asking about how we do the difference between pike ups and straddle ups. This would be a pike up, where I'm bringing my legs straight up, and this would be a straddle up, where I'm bringing my legs apart, right? So my goal is to bring them up straight together, not out here like that for this movement. So the straddle up and pike up to answer one of those previous questions I got from a previous viewer. So good question. Thank you for that. There's your answer. That being said, if you guys catch the stream late, you don't get a chance to ask a question during the live stream, leave a comment with your question and I'll answer it in the following stream. So we're going to go on ahead and get that nice and strong bar up above us. We're going to lift our legs up like we're going to pike, and then we're going to lay flat on our back and shoulders. Oh my God. And now I'm keeping my, goodness, take this. Thank you. I'm keeping my arms up as if I'm hanging onto a bar. So I want you guys to imagine like you are a puppet on strings almost. Okay? I'm here, and as I fall back and as my body turns, my arms are still straight up. And now, my toes are above the height of the bar. And that's because I've turned my torso, put it out of the way, used it to lift my hips up. Now I can bring my toes in and push my hands out and make my toes touch the bar. Oh my God. Coach, I can't do that when I'm hanging from a bar. I know. That's a tough thing to do. When you're dead hanging and you have your whole body weight behind you, you have to lift all that up. That is a really tough thing to do. So this workout, where we're rolling on the ground and we're teaching our body the mechanics behind it, is going to be super helpful. It may be challenging. You may need to bend your knees a little bit and tuck your legs in while you do so. But we're going to try and do a few of these essentially hanging toe touches. Hanging toe touches. So get your broomstick ready. Make sure your space is clear. I had to evict my cat. He couldn't afford his rent. No, I'm joking. But he can never afford his rent. And let's go! We're going to go ahead and lift the legs up and fall back into the tilt touch and sit up. And keep your arms as best as you can straight, pointed straight up to the sky. As if there was a string tied to this broomstick, pulling it straight up. So, grab that broomstick, hold on tight, and lift and tilt, and tip, and come back. And again, and again. Keep it going. Now, coach, your toes aren't actually touching the bar. You're right. A toe touch is just a term that we use to describe the movement as a whole. So if you guys can touch with your shin or your knee or whatever, we are touching the bar as we get our leg up and over our body. If you're only able to touch with your toe because your legs are tucked or bent, that happens sometimes. So that tuck is what we're going to talk about actually with our next skill. So give those a break. That was our toe touch, hanging toe touch. And it can be a really, really tough skill. If you guys are still working on it, one of the other skills that we have that helps you with that as well is your pullover. So the pullover and the hanging toe touch actually kind of go hand in hand. In order to do a pullover, you would again have your bar, and you would lift your legs up, but now instead of having straight arms, you would have to pull your whole body weight up to the bar like you do in a pull-up. Then you'd have to kick your legs over the bar, spin your body all the way around. Our pullover tutorial, that's tutorial number 16, will show you what I'm talking about. Now, the two of them will go hand in hand. Watching pullover, practicing pullover, because pullover, a wall-assisted pullover at that, is a white rank requirement for us. Now when you make your way up to orange, you have to do that toe touch. So we're talking about a little bit more of a challenging skill. So if you're working on your white rank, this is a good workout to get ahead of the game. And if you are already an orange rank or you're moving up past it, one of the other things that you need is an upstart. We're going to actually do our upstart drill right now. It's going to be very similar. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. I hope you're ready. We're going to go on ahead and get our broomstick back. Or, like I said before, it could be like a blanket, or a small blanket anyway, or a pair of pants, something that's cloth that you're pulling through, but you're going to have to pull and keep tension Either way, we're gonna get our workout buddy for the day. We're gonna grab that. And for our upstart, which is a green and blue rank skill that we have to work on, we are going to start with a tuck, curling in from the bar. We're gonna hold that tuck, and when we roll back, we're gonna lift the bar up, right? Lift it up. We're gonna kick out into a hollow, into an extension, and then we're going to come right back in to a pike and a tuck. So I'm coming through here, rotating back almost all the way into that previous workout position. Instead of being toe touch over the bar now, I am tucked and kicking out to hollow, then into an extension, and then I'm gonna snap back into pike and pull my knees back in. The inside of that workout, the second half of that, when I'm snapping back inside, is probably going to be more challenging the outside than that explosion outside, where we're pushing the bar back and kicking our feet out. That's okay. Working both halves of that movement will help us work that core skill of our upstart. So, go on ahead again. We're gonna rock the arms back and up and kick the legs out. So, in that tuck, rock the arms back and up, kick out, set it down from this dead stop, pike up, and then come back into balance. Nice. Good. We're going to do it again. Rock and kick out to hollow, dead stop, then pike up, and tuck in for balance. Don't forget to breathe. Catch your breath in the nose, out the mouth. Let's do it again. Rolling back and kicking out. And when I do this roll back, I'm aggressively throwing and stopping. Then dead stop, where my body is dead and flat on the ground. I'm going to lift up my whole leg and my whole body at the same time for that pike up there, and then tuck in after. So, again, I had a previous question about pike ups. We're doing a skill that's currently kind of using pike ups. Coach, what about straddle ups? Good question. So, what we have in our higher ranking class on a bars day, one of the other skills that we do have is actually a straddle underbar, or a straddle shoot through. Some people call it different things, or a toe shoot. What that is like this, where if you have your bar, we're in a straddle with our legs, and our toes are on the bar. We're able to swing out of it and do an underbar off of the bar. So, one of the workouts that we're now going to switch over and start doing, instead of our pike ups, are our straddle ups, a V up, as some people are familiar with it. So, make sure that you still have plenty of that space, leaving the workout for our previous skill behind, starting on our next skill being our straddle shoot through. So, we're not piking the legs together, instead putting them into a straddle. I'm going to start from that dead position, and now it may be more challenging to touch the bar, but in theory our goal would be to touch it or to go past it. So, that may be really challenging for some of you. It may have been challenging to see, but as you guys can see, I was able to get my feet to the side of the bar that matches my hands. So it's a very aggressive curl in with the abs and keeping the legs straddled. Sometimes the knees will bend a little bit, and that helps us, but then at the end of that, we still want to get that lock straight, straddle and reach. If you don't have the flexibility with straight legs to make this happen, you will probably need to keep them bent. But please don't damage your at-home equipment. Go back into your straddle. Let's do a few more together. Trying to get, again, onto the inside of that bar. Here I am with my reach up. And straddle up. Good. Come back. And let's straddle up again. Good. And straddle up again. Good. And a few more. Just 3 more, we'll say. Okay. Guys, go. Hydrate. Please. Go get a quick drink of water before we stretch. Finish off our class. All right. Hello everyone, welcome back from your water break. I hope you enjoyed today's class. We went over quite a few skills. We used our broomstick to help replicate a bar, and that was, well, if you guys had one, super helpful. Please, if you broke your broomstick, send us video or pictures. I'd love to hear the story. That being said, we'd love to hear from you guys. So during this portion of our class, we're going to do some stretches to finish our class off and to ask some questions. So you guys that are live viewers, you can feel free to start asking. We're going to start with a butterfly stretch today with our straddle being one of the last things that we worked on. So get into that wide hip position with that butterfly. You guys can grab the shin just a little bit longer instead of the foot. So grab up higher, just a little bit higher on the shin. Press down into the knees. Good. So, like I said in my previous stream, I had got several questions after the class stream ended. After I was able to answer them. I could answer them in comments, but what I've taken the liberty to do is fill some of this dead time and answer those questions now. So during our AMA, before you guys have questions or in between your questions, I'll be asking questions that were posted posting? Yeah, post the live stream. So you guys, from that butterfly, good, grab up on the shin, press the elbow down into the knee, and push the chest up and out of that so that we get a nice strong stretch. Breathing in the nose and out the mouth, and applying more pressure through the elbows with the exhale as we do it. Let's do it again. In and out. Pressure and chest pull. Good. Nice. So let's go ahead and come out of that butterfly into a straddle. Kick those legs out straight to the sides. So that way we can get just a bit of additional pressure release from the hips. Now they're going to feel a little tight because we're just doing some sit-ups and workouts through them. That's okay. They're kind of, at this point, they're bound to feel a little tight. That's all right though. So get in there nice and deep. Our feet right now are flexed. So I'm really pointing my toes back towards my knees as much as I can, aggressively, some would say. And reaching in with my whole spine towards the center of my straddle. All right. So, Sam, do we have any questions?
Not right now. We're still waiting on live ones, but we do have ones from previous videos.
Nice. Go ahead and fire one.
All right, beautiful. So, the standing monkey crawl memory tool was super helpful in perfecting my monkey crawl. So, props on that.
Sick.
And then, can you give a memory aid for both hollow and arch, touching all the key things needed to be maintained while holding those positions? Also, the whole press drags for Euro step is genius.
Thank you. I think when you say Euro step, you're referring to like our calm up or our top out. There's a lot of terminology for a lot of different skills, so cool, good stuff. We're gonna switch our stretch. I'm gonna answer that question. We're gonna go from here into a figure 4, and we're going to lean and reach overhead. So one of the things for hollow and arch that really helped me
like a memory drill to hit all those right points, honestly, was a specific workout that I had to do. And it was tough. It was really, really tough. You guys keep doing the stretch. The workout was one where we had to hold ourselves up in our hollow. Ugh. Jeez. I'm an old man now. I was a young lad when I had to do it my first few times. But that, because you have to shrug so hard and you have to hold so tight, it forces you to really exaggerate the fact that you're reaching up and out here like that. So that workout helped to really reinforce and teach my body the right way to do that. The thing that helped me to memorize it was a bit of reminder from a nice coach, honestly. It is one of those things that's hard to get. Switch to the opposite side. It is taking the time to address it repeatedly, because you don't ever really just get something. Having the squeeze in your obliques and your chest and your shoulders, that's a lot to remember if you're not used to it. Doing this drill or doing those drills from a hang on a bar, it would be more preferable, because then gravity forces you into that hanging position for your upper body. So for hollow and for arch, that's super helpful. But the last thing would be for arch, you have to really squeeze your butt cheeks, like you don't want to poop yourself and you have to wait for the toilet in a very public, very busy place. And you've got like really bad poop, like you know it, you can feel it. I know it's bad, but like that's the only thing that I got for that, is you just squeeze the back of your leg so hard. You squeeze your hamstring, you squeeze your quad, you squeeze your glute, right? I know your quad's not on the back of your leg, but you squeeze all of that so hard that you tighten up your legs back behind you. So that's what I would suggest for those.
For anyone tuning in, we were answering a question from a previous episode.
Yeah, so that's those. It's a long answer. Nice, I know, it's a lot. That's how you would really work on and remember your hollow and your arch though. So squeeze backwards like you're trying not to poop, super helpful, promise. And then squeeze forward when you reach up like you're hanging from a bar and you're too tired to keep going. You're dead in your hang.
What would be the optimal amount of time one should hold hollow and arch each day?
Ooh, that varies for bodies. Let's go into a figure four and we'll talk about it. So legs up to a pike, cross one over the other, roll the ankle out, and consider that, some people are heavier than other people, and that they, don't always have the same muscle mass or bone mass. So like bodies are just different. So there is no optimal time for you as a general thing. What I would suggest is that you do it long enough to make yourself tired, whatever tired may be. And you do that several times over, like until exhausted, right? So tired, 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 exhausted when you're so tired you can't do it anymore, right? So that would be a great way to work on those and to help to reinforce that amount of hold. Not quite just, opposite ankle roll, not just like how long everyone should do it, but as a general thing that everyone can do. You can do it at your own pace.
Another question from a previous stream. Have you used any parkour vaults in real life situations apart from coaching?
Oh, yeah, actually. Switch legs. We're gonna switch our figure four. I have had several instances where stuff like my safety vault has helped me just to traverse around like the world. If I've been out on a hike and I'm out doing a walk or something, it is something that I often use. If we're talking about like, oh man, parkour saved my life, I used a conga to prevent probably the breaking of my legs when a car pulled up very amply in front of me over its parking stop. And I freaked out and I put my hands out in front of me and I popped up onto the hood of the car
pulling my knees in because my knees don't bend that way. Haha, I learned that in separate accidents. Opposite direction for your ankle roll. But so I used a Kong up to help me to avoid damaging my legs in a more serious and high stakes scenario. So there's that.
Yeah.
Any more? Fire 'em at me, guys. Let's ask questions.
I think that was the last of them. You actually answered the last question they had, which was, can you share any of your real life experience, like how Justin Taylor shoulder rolled to save himself in an accident? So
There you go.
yeah.
Nice, cool. So I've got the question. All right, we're gonna go ahead and finish our ankle rolls. We did quite a bit for our torso. So the last few stretches that we're going to do are for our back. We're going to lay down in a nice open space, hitting a nice strong T pose. So I'm gonna open up just like this, T pose out. I'm gonna take my hands and imagine them on a straight line. If you still have your broomstick, you can use it. It may help you to help imagine that straight line for your body, right? I'm gonna keep myself on that with my arms, and now I'm gonna lift my left leg to my right hand. So left foot goes over to right hand, but not my hand down to my foot. Oh my goodness. Now I have to hold my left shoulder down on the ground that whole time. So I'm gonna keep my shoulder down and twist until my hip and my knee come up off the ground. And now I've got a nice back stretch where gravity is pulling on my leg and stretching me out a little. Woo! So, if we got any other questions?
Mm-mm.
Nope, that's okay. You guys, when you got them, just send them. We'll get them, promise. All right, and release. We're gonna do that on our opposite side. So leg comes up, crosses over the body, reaches, and shoulder stays down. Hold it, breathe. All right, and come back to flat. We're gonna roll that broomstick out away from us. Do our sit up or press up in our chest so we can come up to our ceiling stretch or our sea lion stretch or whatever you may prefer to call it. We're gonna press ourselves up. And we're gonna push our hips back, press our chest and armpits down. Good. And we're gonna go ahead and come on up. So we are just about all done with class. Unless there's any other questions. Since we've got none on our current live stream, the last thing that I'm going to let you guys know is that you should all do a few things. Phone calls to your family are important to keep ourselves connected in these tough times. You can also set up stuff like video chat so that you can see your loved ones to help bridge the gap. Many of us are stuck in our homes. And separation can beat on all of us. Mental health is a big issue in the US that people fail to address. And for as much as these times are cool and we get to hang out and just play video games at home, many people are falling under depression and becoming upset in the circumstances that they're in. Please make sure that you reach out to a loved one, let them know that they're loved. Spread that love. Make sure that you guys appreciate each other and that we take care of each other in the way that we can. Social distancing is a real thing that we all kind of have to do. It is the only time many of us have ever been called on to do something, to help make a difference. Imagine if you were in a war and you got told that you had to get shipped out and that they were going to give you a gun and a helmet and it was time to go. You're kind of stuck at your home in a different kind of war and you have to stay at home and kind of mind that it's a different kind of responsibility that we all have to each other, to our loved ones. Many of us have young people or old people that we live with or live around and we love them dearly. So please take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Call each other, reach out to each other. Wash your hands. Do it often. Use sanitizer when you can. Make sure that you guys don't overindulge while you're at home. It's important to moderate yourself and to portion control. Many of us are doing nothing but watching Netflix and eating all of our snack foods, and that's okay for a little while, but it's important to make sure that you don't let your health fall apart. Go out on a walk around your neighborhood if you're allowed to. Make sure that you cover your face as you need to, because those are the requirements most of us have. Or if you guys don't want to go out and you can't do any of that, just stay at home and relax and read a book. Educate yourselves. Do something to benefit yourself in your time, because your time is a limited resource, so use it right, use it well. From Firestorm to all of you guys, we love you and we appreciate you. So thank you to all the hardworking people in those industries of medicine and currently also food service, which is an essential work. There are many people that are at Vaughn's that are like, at risk. So thank you to all of you hardworking individuals that have to risk your health to go outside in a currently uncertain world. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys on our stream. Thank you very much. Have a good night.